see. I am the greatest combat athlete of all time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Tell a Tape. I'm your host, Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C, and on this episode of Tell a Tape, I'm going to be breaking down the guy with the most vicious power. I'm not talking about Triple C just yet. I'm talking about FRANCIS Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. The battle of the two kings. The former heavyweight champion of the UFC versus the best heavyweight in boxing right now, Tyson Fury. I'm going to be breaking down the strengths, their weaknesses, and if FRANCIS Ngannou has an opportunity to actually beat a guy like Tyson Fury. Guy, this episode wouldn't be possible without our sponsor. That's right, Cookie Code. Whenever you guys want to indulge, whenever you guys want all natural ingredients, guess what, guys? You guys make sure to go to cookiecode.com and find the closest store near you. Enough talk. Let's take it to the big screen. Okay, so here we have it, the Tell the Tape. Tyson Fury 33-0 versus FRANCIS Ngannou 17-3. 12 KOs to 24 KOs. I know this is different. I know the gloves are a little bit different. And this is where the fight somewhat changes. But I tell you what, guys, this is one thing that we all have to keep in mind. This is a big ass dude, man. This dude is cool. This dude is pretty. That's 6'9", man. Like he's taller than LeBron James. He's taller than a lot of these NBA players. Like it's a trip how big he is of an actual heavyweight. Like just to put into perspective, Mike Tyson right now is 5'10". I mean, he's got a foot on him. I personally think he's 5'9", but whatever. You know, 83-inch reach to 85, age 35 to age 37. God, leave Francis. I thought Francis was a bit younger, but he's 37 years old. Whew. But without further ado, let's talk about, that's right, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy. What are his strengths? Tyson Fury's strengths, it's years of championship experience. I mean, when you come from the school of boxing, when you come from the lineage of boxing, like his family did, him growing up watching his father, his uncles, and his great-grandfather fight prior to him actually doing it, and then being named Tyson after a guy like Mike Tyson, absolutely says a lot. He's undefeated. He's undefeated in his whole career. You know how hard it is to have that in boxing? There's a reason why in boxing, a lot of these boxers protect themselves. But when it comes to heavyweight, there's no coming down and there's just staying up. So when you can literally say you're the best in the world in boxing, I think as of now, for me in boxing, it's when you become the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, because there's no way of going up or there's no way of going down. Like there's a limit. His movement and footwork. Tyson Fury's movement and footwork, he does a little rope-a-dope, he likes to play. Dude, all that stuff can distract an opponent. You know, his footwork of having the ability to just kind of like hop, and he's 6'9", having the ability to just hop and then showboat with the shoulder roll makes this dude dangerous because of just movement. Because when you get every heavyweight has power, but how many of those heavyweights actually are agile? And that's a question that FRANCIS Ngannou is going to have to answer. Yep. And then the biggest thing against a guy like FRANCIS Ngannou, it's going to be his size and his weight. He's not just tall, but he's also heavy too. And let me tell you something. When I watched that fight with him and Deontay Wilder, I don't know if it was the first or second fight, Tyson Fury was doing a really good job of hanging on him because he was a taller opponent. So I could see Tyson Fury using his size, using the double overs or whatever that is, but he'll hang on you. He'll be able to sag your weight, and people are really overlooking that. So I think the biggest advantage that he does have, other than his championship experience, is his damn weight, and how is it that FRANCIS Ngannou actually uses that weight. But we always have to, I got to be fair with everybody, right? I mean, even though he is, the king, even though he is the heavyweight champion of the world, he's got weaknesses. We'll make it, we'll do a little, we'll make it a little more English, Put this here, We'll make him a little more English here. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that everybody has damn weaknesses, and including Tyson Fury. All the pressure is on him to win this fight. I mean, think about it. He may not be taking it serious, but once you're in there, you start seeing the crowd, and you're in Saudi Arabia, things kind of start to unfold. Guess what? The pressure's on him. The other thing, too, is overlooking Ngannou, and he's already scheduled to fight his next fight with Usyk. That could be another weakness. Guess what, guys? I go back and I think of the Mike Tyson when he fought Buster Douglas, a 9-1 or a 90-1. Like, the odds were absolutely ridiculous. Could this be a Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas when Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou get into that ring? He needs to be careful. Confidence, overlooking somebody, not respecting your opponent could be the worst thing that you could do. And not least, another weakness of his. He's been dropped before. If Wilder could drop him with that straight right, what do you think Francis Ngannou? What do you think the power that Francis Ngannou has in his hands as well? You know, he has been hit and he has been dropped. But one thing I will give a guy like Tyson Fury, he does get up. And the simple fact that Tyson Fury does get up, it just says a lot about him, but he does have that button. And here we have it, Francis Ngannou. I want to say his nickname's the Predator. Is it the Predator? Yeah, the Predator, Francis Ngannou. I mean, nobody in UFC history has the knockout power like a guy like Francis Ngannou. I mean, 12 KOs, and all those 12 KOs were all against top opponents in the UFC. This man's power, you're talking about real African power, he's got him in his hands. And I don't believe any African or anybody, probably in mixed martial arts or combat sports, could say that they have the power like this man. This dude right here, this should be fire coming out. I mean, these things are special. These things are absolutely special, and these things are absolutely vicious. The other thing too that we gotta consider, he's actually training with my uncle. He's actually training with Uncle Mike Tyson. Uncle Mike is a real deal. Uncle Mike is a really good teacher, to be able to show somebody inside fighting, which I know is different, Mike Tyson does a really good job of showing somebody how to inside fight, because this is one thing that Francis Ngannou is really going to need, and he's going to need that inside fighting. And this is where this man, the youngest heavyweight champion of all time, is actually coming in. So kudos for Francis Ngannou and his team to understand that Mike Tyson is the guy to bring in to be able to help him win this fight. Has nothing to lose. Absolutely has nothing to lose and everything to gain. He's gonna make millions of dollars. Everything that he was supposed to get paid by the UFC when he was champion or when he was a contender, it's all about to be made up, because this man right here bet on himself. And that's what makes Francis Ngannou, that's what makes me cheer for him, because when guys literally bet on themselves, it's just cool. We'll be unorthodox in the ring. I've sparred guys, like if you ever spar a boxer, yeah, I almost tend to do better with the legit boxer than some MMA dude that's just like you don't know what the hell's coming. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what the hell is coming and he's got this vicious power, be careful. Be careful, man, because guess what? These may be 4-ounce gloves, but when you have that vicious power against a guy like, when you have that vicious power like Francis Ngannou, I want to say it's a 10-ounce glove that they're actually using, it might as well be a 4-ounce glove, because this dude brings power like nobody's damn business. But let's go over his weaknesses. Guys, I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and absolutely nothing but the truth. Francis Ngannou has never boxed before, has never been in that ring. He's been in the octagon several times, over a dozen times, but has he has he been in that ring? Has he been in that square? Not the octagon, the square. He will swing wild and throw loopy punches. This is why, like, for Francis against this fight, it's awesome that he brought in Mike Tyson to show that inside fighting, because it's going to be the short punches that they're going to become a little more successful for a guy like Francis. But will he go back to the UFC Francis that likes to throw with his chin up and just rely on nothing but power? It's scary. And the other thing too, he's very planted. Does he have that footwork? That footwork, when you get people that know how to steer the car, that know how to steer their movement, it's hard to fight. It's hard to fight guys like that. You imagine fighting a guy like Manny Pacquiao with the crazy footwork. He's in and out. You don't know if he's there, and you throw, next you know he's countering you. I mean, it is heavyweight, but that's one thing that's one thing that mixed martial artists don't have above fighters, and it's called footwork. My final thoughts. Do I believe Francis Ngannou could beat Tyson Fury? I don't. I really don't. I mean, who does? But with the right game plan, and if he's able to really take in what Mike Tyson has set forth with him, I think the biggest thing that I could see a potential upset is if this man right here, that's right, I'm talking about Francis Ngannou, if he can bring in those Mike Tyson uppercuts, that same uppercut that you caught Alistair Overeem in, if he can bring that thing in, if he can kind of just brush it up where this man's unable to see it, then you have it. Then I can see a guy like Francis Ngannou literally knocking a dude out like that. But if there's no short punches, and if everything's gonna be straight, if you're gonna be chasing and there's no tactical work, then I can see a man like this stopping Francis Ngannou within 5 rounds. I really do. He might even try to toy with them and play with them. This man's gonna go ahead and use his weight, like he did against Deontay Wilder. He's probably gonna shoot up his body. He's probably gonna be playing, talking to the crowd, doing X, Y, and Z, have fun, but attack this dude's body, because the speed in between both these guys is completely different. If Francis Ngannou can bring in those short punches down the middle, that's supposed to be a punch. If he can bring it down the middle, catch this dude on the chin, then I could see it. But if not, guys, God bless Francis Ngannou. Am I going for you, Francis? 100%. 100% I'm going for you. I'm cheering for you. Now, will I bet my money on you? That's another thing, man. I just had another kid, man. You crazy, dude? I can't. So for that reason, guys, I gotta go with the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Guys, this episode would be possible without our sponsors. That's right, Cookie Co. Whenever you guys want to indulge, whenever you guys want that sweet tooth, you guys have that sweet tooth, whenever you guys want all those natural ingredients, you guys make sure to go to cookieco.com and find the closest store near you. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, I'm Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C. I'm out.